Let's watch this one for now. And here we go again. I saw this. It got recommended to me, and I figured I would watch it. Here we go. Let's take a look at it.
If you are a fan of World of Warcraft or Blizzard games in general,
These past few years have been bad.
unfortunately, we received some bad news today from inside of the company and what is going on. As most people are well aware of, Blizzard Entertainment is no stranger to bad news, controversy, or just problems occurring behind closed doors.
Yeah.
The company has really been struggling internally and externally, especially in the PR department, ever since it got all of its lawsuits filed against them due to having a internal frat boy culture, apparently. Just a lot of harassment and discrimination against
I feel like frat boy stuff is fine. That's just drinking. It's the touching people without their consent. That's the problem.
female employees. A lot of people left the company because of this. There were walkouts at Blizzard, you name it. And on top of a bunch of lackluster games and releases during that time, Blizzard has really struggled with its image. And unfortunately, those problems still continue even to this day. But before I talk about what those problems are, real fast, I want to give a quick shout out to Zygor, this channel's sponsor. If you're a WoW player that loves classic Dragonflight, doesn't matter. Zygor is the ultimate guide for leveling, achievements, mount collecting, gold making, you name it. Check it out via the link in the description below. And if you decide to upgrade from the free version one day, use code NIXIUM for 20% off. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to the channel's sponsor, but let's dive into the recent news and the recent malarkey surrounding Blizzard, shall we?
So, I think this was at BlizzCon. Was it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really remember.
So several news outlets that follow gaming culture, gaming companies, are beginning to report that Blizzard is having a big problem as of recently with losing employees. Now, they certainly lost a lot of employees in the past, but they're really struggling with the problem again. And it has to do primarily with the company's remote working policy that's driving a lot of people away. If you don't know,
another component to this that people don't really talk about a lot is that there were people that were hired remotely, and it was explicitly stated, or it was understood at least, that they would not have to come into work. So, like, these are people that were working for Blizzard, and they live in, like, Wisconsin or something. So then Blizzard gives them an ultimatum: come and move to California, where you're getting paid the same amount of money, but everything else is twice as expensive. And you have to sit in an hour of traffic. Fuck that, right? Yeah, there's no way that's going to happen. So, like, I think a lot of people, the perspective on this has been that it's just a lot of lazy WoW developers or Blizzard developers that don't want to go to work. But the truth is that Blizzard had hired people remotely, and now they want them to relocate for the job, even though this wasn't part of the stipulation in the original agreement. So that's what the real fucking issue is. That's worse than any of the other stuff. Wasn't that just hearsay? Didn't remember seeing any proof. I think it is basically hearsay. I feel like, I mean, all these articles are all hearsay.
what I'm talking about, earlier in the year, Activision Blizzard implemented a policy that made it mandatory for its employees to work in office at least 3 days a week. Yeah. And maybe it's because of the whole coronavirus epidemic, or maybe just work culture has shifted over the years, but a lot of people kind of got comfortable, I think, with just working from home rather than having...
I don't think it's comfortable working from home. So let's go ahead and go through a day in the life of an at-home worker. Okay. Let's say you have to be at work at 9 a.m. Okay. All right. So it is no. What I'm saying is that it's a lot more than that. Okay. So let me explain, because obviously people are taking what I'm saying out of context in a way that I clearly did not fucking mean it. I think that saying that people just got used to it implies that there's some form of laziness or complacency to it. But I don't think there's laziness and complacency to people that want to work from home. I think there's logic. And this is what I'm trying to say. So if you have to work at home, you wake up at 8 a.m., okay? Lay in bed until 8:30. Finally get out of bed, make coffee, sit down at desk. It's 8:50. Now you work. Okay? Working time. All right? So this is you. This is like you're working at your job. Okay? It's great. You're working. All right. The day is over now. Okay? It's 5 p.m. Time to stop working. You turn off the PC and go out for dinner. Maybe. Okay? So that's it. You jerk off, you turn off the PC, you go out. Yeah, sure. But yeah, let's say you leave the house, right? That's what I usually do. Okay, so this is what you do if you are an at-home worker. Okay, this is a day in the life of an at-home worker. All right? So, and this takes, by the way, this takes usually, how long does it take to turn off the PC? About 5 seconds. Now, a day in the life of an at-office worker. Wake up. It's 6:53 a.m. Okay? You have to take a shower because you will see other people. All right? This takes, let's say, 20 minutes. All right? Now it's 7, what would it be? 23 p.m. I think, I don't know. It was 13. Okay? You need to get breakfast. But you are late, so you have to get something on the way to work. Minus, it's California, $8. Okay? Oh, sorry, AM. Yeah, I'm not used to being awake that early. All right, so now this is minus $8. Then, okay, you finally, you get dressed and finally get out of the house. It's 7:35. You need an hour, 1.5 hours to get to work. Okay? All right. Then you go. You're driving. You get food. Not only minus $8, but also minus 10 minutes. There were a lot of people at the drive-thru. Okay. So there we go. Okay, good. And let's see, we're working toward gas money, right? Okay, so you're almost out of gas. Refill time, $85. This is a minus $85. Okay, accident on highway. Now you're even more late. Finally arrive at office at 9:13. Instantly confronted by supervisor. Why are you late? They don't care why. This is going on your report. Now you don't get a bonus. Mandatory team meeting that should have been an email. Okay, so Imagine this, okay? This is only getting to work, all right? We're not talking about the annoyances at work, your coworker who, taps his desk a lot and it annoys you, somebody who comes by, and it's only 9:13 in the morning. And then so you drive home, so this is more minus money, more minus dollars. Like, you are taking a time dilation of, in California, 3 hours every single day that you want to go to work. 3 hours times 5. That's 15. So you are taking 15 fucking hours. And also, if you want to fucking compare this to the price, it's more like 20 because of how much money it costs to get there and back. So you're taking 15 hours, 10 to 20 hours, let's say. I think that's fair. 10 to 20 hours just in logistics. No fucking wonder these people don't want to get rid of raid runbacks and having to summon people with a warlock and needing to rebuff. If they have to deal with this logistical bullshit, I guess the players do too, right? Holy shit. So yes, people don't want to go to the office. That's it. Don't forget penis inspection day 2. They fired those guys, apparently. Ryan's College Breakdown. There's tons of people that may do this for these reasons. They don't know it. They just want to stay home because they can. Actually lazy. Well, I don't think that somebody is lazy for not wanting to go to work. If someone tells you, so here's an example, right? If somebody tells you, hey, you have to be here at this time because we want you to be here at this time, and you tell them, oh, I don't want to be there at that time. That's wasting my time. That's a waste of my time. I'd rather do something else. Are you lazy for that? Because you don't want to just give in to their demand on your time. They want to put a minus 3 hours into your life every single day and you're lazy because you're telling them no? Absolutely fucking not. Like, there you go. I believe to work from home, you have to be very disciplined. I think that there are values that you get from working in a team environment with other people at an office. I have worked at an office before. I actually kind of enjoyed it. It was nice to go to work and see people and talk to them and spend lunch talking to them about like different stuff. It was good. I didn't mind it at all. But there were also a lot of negatives and I didn't have to spend 3 hours doing it. It's not for everybody. Yeah, it's not for everybody. It depends on the office, it depends on the job, and it depends on the context. Never had a real job. Unfortunately, I have. I worked at the IRS for 2 tax seasons. I did. Like, yeah, I don't know really what you want me to say. I had to go to the work. I had to use my ID. I had to come in, and they paid me, and then I left. And I mean, bro, like, if that's, what do you mean by a real job? What is that? Bro, here. Let me give you an example of what a real job is. A real job is a job that you get paid for. That's what a real job is. Yep, it's that simple. Anybody trying to argue otherwise is coping with the fact that they're unhappy with their life or they need to build themselves up more because they're insecure. The point that I'm making, we went completely off the fucking rails. The point that I'm making is that the people who want to work from home probably want to do it because it just saves time. It is a massive time waster to have to go to the office. Asking people to come into the office once a week, twice a week, we'll see what happens. But once a week, I think is reasonable for a number of reasons. Sure. But 5 times a week, especially whenever you don't have to, absolutely fucking not. That's the point that I'm making.
To go into some big, dumb, boring office to just grind away in a cubicle. And so this new policy, this idea of forcing its employees to come in 3 days a week, for some people, it's become a little bit too much. The main person that we're gathering this information from is World of Warcraft's game producer, Adam Galaxgrov. who claims that despite Blizzard's best efforts, they've been losing employees left and right lately. In
Well,
fact,
it's also because working at Blizzard sucks, because people, oh, I work at Blizzard. Oh, great. Did you steal any breast milk today? What about sexual harassment? Why is Bobby Kotick the CEO? So did they actually fix that sexual harassment stuff, or does it still happen? So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the reputation of the company is damaged in a very bad way. And a lot of people, it's like, okay, so do I want to work for Blizzard and then have people tell me that I'm a sexual predator because somebody who worked at the company 10 years before I even got here did something bad? Or do I want to go work for Riot or another company that this doesn't happen with? Why would anybody want to make that decision? Oh, and Riot pays better.
he has gone as far to say that Blizzard is losing amazing talent because somebody in power is not listening to the game directors who make the products. He also added that Blizzard can't make better games like Dragonflight and so on if they end up losing everybody who's making these games and working on them.
That would make sense.
Internally, Blizzard is struggling to the point that they're creating crisis maps of when they cannot
That's
ship.
always good. You know, crisis maps. Oh, lovely.
About their products, even creating plans in advance, if I'm understanding things correctly, for when people ultimately hand in their notice and quit. Allison Steele, a senior game director for World of Warcraft, says that the whole forced to return to office stuff, it has cost Blizzard amazing people and will continue to cost them more in the coming months. Even going as far to say that this whole forced policy that Blizzard is implementing on their employees is ultimately a terrible, short-sighted, self-destructive policy that is only weakening their ability to deliver the kind of games that they want to make and what the players deserve.
But you see, like, here's really where it comes down to. Here's what it comes down to for me. All right? I don't really give a fuck about what's going on over at the Blizzard headquarters. I buy their games. I play their games. That is my job as a consumer. That's my responsibility. I buy and I play these games. And whenever I see Dragonflight getting constant updates, we see the first ever World of Warcraft roadmap, we see the guys from Diablo 4 actually responding and fixing the problems in the beta before the game even releases, doing multiple updates, communicating with the player base way more than they ever have. And this was all done under this remote work policy. And then I hear that this is going to change. I think to myself, I don't think that we need any changes. I think things are fine. Let's not rock the boat. Let's not change things at all. I'm perfectly happy where we're at. Let's just do this. That's what I think.
Don't assume that this is just a World of Warcraft thing. It certainly has affected WoW a lot, but it's even leaking over into other games like the Call of Duty series. This is a little bit odd, I admit, because lately Blizzard has been pumping out more content.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
from what we can read, apparently Blizzard is claiming that they've had a higher retention rate behind closed doors, meaning that more people are coming into employment with Blizzard and sticking around and not just immediately leaving. But there seems to be a contradicting bit of information here. On one hand, spokespeople from Blizzard are saying everything's fine, but then you've got game directors and producers saying, nah, dude, we're losing employees. This sucks. Now, I'm not here to throw any opinions out there about remote work or in-office work, whatever. I'll let you guys talk about that in the comment section down below, what you think.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be a fucking genius to look at the way that Blizzard has made content in the last year and a half and say, hey, this is pretty good compared to what we had before. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Is good and most productive for a business. But I will say that for us who play Blizzard video games, whether it's World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, it doesn't matter. Although, yeah, Blizzard has been pumping out a lot of content lately, and a lot of that content has been pretty good, to be fair. The D4 beta was received relatively well.
Very well.
Dragonflight has been received well, so on and so forth. Hearing this information is very concerning for the future of the company.
Exactly.
My friends and I, when we were talking about about this earlier today. The comment that seemed to come up frequently was the concern that maybe this little sudden surge of decent content from Blizzard is just going to be a short-lived thing. Maybe we're not.
Which is logical. I would logically assume that. Because people that aren't happy don't do good work. In general. Like how many, like in World of Warcraft, if your pet has the red sad face, does it do more damage or less damage, guys? It does less damage. That's right. But if it has the green happy face, it's doing a lot of damage. Oh, wow. He's so happy. Look how much damage he's doing. See? It's even in their own games.
Going to see an expansion after Dragonflight that is going to hold up compared to how Dragonflight has done. Hopefully we don't get another Shadowlands, because goodness gracious, I don't think WoW will survive that. Diablo 4, Hearthstone, Call of Duty, whatever. If Blizzard is losing employees because they're making bad policy decisions in regards to how they deal with their employees, all of these games that we know and love could potentially be in danger. It is my hope, however, that this is going to be just a giant nothing burger, that maybe some people are leaving the company right now. Some people are fed up with the fact that they can't just do 100% work from home. They leave the company and maybe, just maybe, everything will return to normal. But I don't know. Work culture has changed a lot ever since the corona pandemic. Whereas before, maybe before the whole corona epidemic happened, people looked at the idea of remote work, just working from home, as being a luxury and something to be enjoyed in small doses, most of the work being, of course, in the studio, in the cubicle. Now, for many people, to my understanding, as limited as it is, this has kind of become the norm. But either way, unfortunately, we are here again. We are here again being worried about the future of Blizzard Entertainment. This time, thankfully, we're not having to deal with drama of harassment and abuse happening within the company. We unfortunately have to see the news articles saying that Blizzard Entertainment is struggling a little bit. Maybe not so much on our end in terms of the consumers, but internally with their employees, something is going wrong and something clearly needs to change. Now, guys, I
just fucking stop trying to rock the boat. Things are fine. Just the games are going fine. Why does anything need to change? Why does anything need to change? Like it's good. It's fine. Okay, all right, don't mess with it.
Know what the work culture is like way out in California, but hopefully the company can reach some sort of policy that pleases everybody. The employees that like to go into the office, they like to be surrounded by their fellow co-workers talking at the coffee machine, but also those people that like to do remote work, just work from home. Maybe they're a little introverted. They don't want to see people. They just want to hang out with their family. I mean, for myself, I hold the opinion that, as long as you get the job done, work from home, work in the office, just make sure you get the stuff done. My only concern would, of course, be communication, but as long as there is active communication between the person working at home and his team leader or something working in the office.
I think it's common sense. Asking somebody to come in once a week is not really a big deal. But like, you're talking about 3 days. This is minimum probably 10 hours, I would say, that they have to invest into this. Probably each week it's over $100 they have to spend on logistics getting to and from work. That's a lot. I'm not saying you should never have to go into work, but goddamn.
Office, I don't really see what the big deal is. I don't know why this whole 3-day thing is in place, but maybe there's some sort of productivity thing, argument that could be made about having people in the office versus at home. I don't know. Maybe someone in the comment section can educate us. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this is just going to blow over and Blizzard is able to refresh their stock of talent and everything continues good and grand and dandy with our favorite games, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. I don't know, man. If you're working from home and on the clock and you fall down your stairs going to the restroom, would that be considered work comp case? I don't think so. I'm not sure. Why do you think 1 day requirement is necessary?
Well, it depends, right? And it depends on like what's happening. Like, for example, if you want to have people come in to like look at prototypes that are at like work computers, that you want to have everybody in the same room to look at them. I do think that there is a value in physical collaboration. I do think that that has a value. But at a certain point, you have to measure that value against everything else. So yeah, sure. Like, absolutely. But it's not it's not like you need to do it all the time. I don't know what to say, man. It is just crazy. Yeah, team lunch. Yeah, sure. Stuff like that is not a big deal. Depends on your job function. Of course it does. And like there's a million nuances and exceptions to this kind of stuff. Yeah. Just FYI, Riot Games has a return to office policy that predates Blizzard. Yeah, I'm sure they do, but the difference is that Riot isn't like, I think Riot pays better than Blizzard does, so people are more willing to deal with it. And also, didn't Greg Street just leave the Riot MMO project? He left the entire company because he wanted to spend more time with his family, and this just happened to coincide around whenever they have to do return to work. I don't know, guys. I find that to be quite a coincidence. This is such first world problems. Oh, it absolutely is. These people don't have to worry about fighting lions and then surviving. I guess this means their problems aren't real. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know what is even less of a problem? You having a problem with it. Keep that in mind. I'll link you guys the video. This is a good Nixium video. I like it. There you go. Oh, how do you fix Blizzard's rough balancing? Well, I don't know, man. There's real world problems, like gatekeeping shit. It's just, I think that most of the people that are shitting on Blizzard employees for not being happy that they have to return to work are people that are miserable at their jobs, who have to show up to work every day, and they don't like the fact that somebody else is complaining about something that they have to do. I think that's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with any logic, any common sense, any reasoning. It is pure crabs in a bucket mentality that adds no value to anybody. That's what I fucking think. All these game devs stop listening to communities and stuff. Just create creative stuff for us to play. Just surprise us. We don't want top play shit to think about before playing it. That's how everything is going to be, man. Yeah, that's always how it's going to be. Let's see here. Full-time remote work, and I would never go back to an office. Exactly. MMO complainers want quality of life, stay out of the game because they did it the hard way. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and it is a lot like that. How MMO players sometimes don't want to have things get nerfed or made better because they would rather that people have to suffer through them because they had to suffer through them. It's like the most selfish and self-centered perspective that you can possibly have. It takes me 1 hour and 45 minutes each way to go to the office, and $20 per day in train cost. I don't mind doing it 1 to 2 times per week, but more than that is too much. Yeah, and you also have, the thing is, like, you have like all these like this thing here of like a day in the life of an office worker. This is all logistics of a single able-bodied person that doesn't have kids. Add in a wife. Okay, now things are more complicated. Maybe you only have one car. And also it could complicate the relationship because you have less time to spend with them. Then also you have kids. Now you have to pay for daycare. Oh, you're late to pick your kid up for daycare? Well, now this is another problem. Now they might charge you extra or something like that. And let's see, besides that, imagine 2 wives. Yeah, twice as much time. And like, let's say you're taking care of an elderly parent or a elderly, I don't know, like your significant other is disabled or something like that. There are millions of other reasons why people wouldn't be able to come to work, or this would be a multiplying factor on stress in a way that's unique to them. So yeah, late to pick up your kid, now they keep your kid. There it is. It's that simple. That's why I quit Lost Ark. They validate my farm, and I'm doing it 1 to 2 weeks with new content. I don't think they invalidate what you're farming in Lost Ark. I think that you probably try to go above and beyond the threshold of, like, you can't stay in the 1% and then expect to always be in the 1%. I think that's reductive to the player base. Companies don't care about your time. Yeah, exactly. if time being in office is more efficient for them, that you'll be replaced by someone who's willing to go to the office? Absolutely. But what happens whenever there's nobody to replace you with? And I think that's clearly what's happened, is that there aren't that many people to replace them with, and that's why you have people leaving. That's exactly why.